Hi guys, I'm going to show you a Java project where I show you the CRUD functions and a MongoDB. At first, I'm going to create a new Java application. I name it MongoDB CRUD. Now click Finish. After that, I add the jar folders, MongoDB and MongoJava driver. So, at first, I insert I initialize a Mongo variable. This is the Mongo database. Then I create a variable that's where the database is safe and then where the collection is safe. Okay. At first, I have to initialize the database. And with the function, I gave the localhost and the port where the database should be connected. The port number is just a random number. Okay, so let's implement this method. At first, I just print. This was the wrong one. At first, I just print initialize database to the output window, so we can see what's the program does when we run it. And then I initialize the Mongo variable with new Mongo and the localhost and the E. I rename it that we can identify this variable later again. And this and it rename to host. We have to surround this statement with the try catch, so I surround the whole block with the try catch. So now we're going to switch to the right database because we're working now on default. And so we switch and we name it adat. And it's the database name. So in this method, we check if the Mongo is not null because only when it's filled, we should switch the database. MongoDB with that database name. I forgot the combo. Then we have to switch to the right collection because we name it users. Then we have to create the methods. So rename it to collection name. Okay, right. Then in this method we have to check first if the database is null, because it makes no sense if the database is null that we switch to the right collection. And then we say collection is database.getCollection with the collection name. Right, then we start with the insert. I just type down the following method's name because then it's easier, because I don't have to jump on the top again. So we have the insert, but before we do the insert, we want to print the content of the document, because we are interested to see what's in it. Then after the insert, we show content in the document again. Then we update because we want the CRUD functions. That means create, read, update, and delete. We don't do it with show content. We just read the stuff out of the collection. Then we remove. Then again we show. I just copy that. And then I delete all to clear the database, and then again I'll show the content. Okay, let's start with show content. Then the insert, update, read, remove, and delete all. Okay, let's start with show content in document. So we initialize a DB cursor, where we insert everything we find in that collection. So, and we need a while loop. We iterate through this loop we start iterating this loop when the cursor has no next node. When we find one, we stay in this loop, and if we found some, we print it to the output window. Perfect. Then test the insert. So insert. Oh no, I ruined that. Put something because yeah. In the insert, we have to create the basic DB object. We name it document. Initialize new DB object. And in this document, we put key values, like for example, document.put key value. Users have usernames. We name it Peter, and we give him a password. It's called Peter123. And then we insert. No, that's not what I want. We insert this document to the collection. To make it clearer, I just write another method for the real insert. So there you are. Insert. We just write, to be clear, that's why I did it in the insert test method, because we do it here in here. So again, we have to check if the database is null. If it's not, we check if the document is null. When it's not null, we just insert this document into the collection. This was the insert statement. So let's try it if it's working. Yeah, it's not working because we don't implemented it yet, the update test method. But as you see here, we initialize the database, we switch to the database, we switch to the right collection. There is nothing in the collections, so this print so there's nothing. Then we inserted one, and then there is Peter with password Peter123. Okay, let's try the update. Again, we need a basic database object. And there we put the new value. We wanted to change the password, and there we put the new value of the password and give it to separate update method with the document we just initialized here. The username as the key username, and the value Peter because we want to change the password of Peter. So I just write the put statement. write password, because that's the key we want to change, with the new password, and then we call the update function, where we make the real update, and there we give the document where we put the new password in, the key username, and the name of the user where we wanted to change the password. So, and we create this update method. I made a mistake up there because it's no username. And we name this the identifier key. And this the identifier value. So there we just print that we're updating user, then we check if the document's null. If it's not null, we update him. Then again, we need a query where we search the object with the key and the value, and then we update this query with the document we become. With identifier key and identifier value. And then we say collection update the search query with the document. Yes, and that must be working. Let's try it. I missed method. And why is it working? Because I missed this one. Right, so let's run it. Yes. Okay, so we don't see the content because we don't show it with show content in document, because we wanted to make this with read user, so it's quite good when we implement this at first. Okay, in the read text, we need again a basic DB object. And there, in this document, we put the key username and Peter, because we wanted to read all Peters out of our collection. So we write this, and in this read method we make the real read statement. It's not so difficult because we just have to iterate a cursor again like we did it up there before. So we have to check if the document is null. When it's not null, we read it with a DB cursor again. We call him cursor, and in this cursor, we insert everything we find with that document. And then we need again a while loop with cursor has next. If he finds node, next node, he will stay in this loop and print the collection. And here we say cursor point next. So let's try it. Yes. Okay. That's funny. I think I just write it. I just think I write every method, because then everything will be cleared out of the database again. So it's better to show. So next we remove the Peter, and then we delete everything of this collection. Okay, in this remove we need again basic DB object, call it document, and we put in the document the username Peter, because we want to remove every Peter we find in that database. Then we call remove document. So again we check where we are now with remove user. There we check if the document's now. If it's not, we delete it. We delete this document from the collection. Yes. And up there again, we have to write the delete all. It's just, again, we need a cursor, and we delete everything out of this cursor, so there is nothing left in the collection. So we initialize the DB cursor, where we select everything out of the collection, and again, we need a while loop with cursor has next, and then we remove everything out of the collection with cursor next. So let's run it and check if it's working. I hope it does. Yes. Okay. I just ran it again to show it how it really should work. So, we initialize the database, we switch the database, we switch to the collection, then we show the content of the collection. There's nothing in there, so we insert one, and then we show it again. Then we update the user, we read it, there you see the new password, then we remove the user, again we show the content, because there was only one user, the database is clear, and then we delete all, and again show the content of the document. I hope you like it, and you find it easy to follow, and yeah, thank you.